Today from the Patriot Center on the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, it's the Super Series of women's tennis featuring the championship final of the Virginia Slims of Washington, with Zina Garrison facing the top-ranked player in the world from West Germany, Steffi Graf. Today's final is brought to you by Epilady, the revolutionary way to remove leg hair. For sexy, smooth legs without nicks, cuts, or scrapes, it's Epilady. By Sharp Electronics. From sharp minds come sharp products. And by Johnson's Baby Shampoo from Johnson & Johnson. Good day to you, everyone. I'm Cliff Streiser, along with Virginia Wade. It has been another relatively easy march for Steffi Graf that has become so common now. But
if she manages to keep the ball low, and this court produces low bounces, and she takes some chances, and she's playing well enough to execute those chances, she has got a slight chance. But I would say the chance is really to do well. I wouldn't say she has a very good chance to win, because I don't think anybody can beat Steffi when she's as good as she is at the moment.
You know, one of the big questions for this year in all of tennis, men's or women's tennis, is whether Steffi Graf can win a second Grand Slam. Maybe she can. She has already won, of course, the Australian Open this year after having won the great Grand Slam of tennis just last year in 1988. Can she do it? I think she's going to do it, and a lot of people agree with that. Well, you'll see the #1 player in the world, Steffi Graf, in just a moment. Virginia Slims of Washington final. She'll be playing against Zina Garrison. Stay tuned, please. Zina Garrison is 25 years old. She's from, who doesn't know, from Houston, Texas. She was born there, and that is still her home. She's the #9 ranked player in the world. Does she have a chance to beat Steffi Graf? Well, ask that of Virginia. It's a tough assignment for her, but heck, it's great to have got to a final of this nature and to obviously keep her ranking up. And as you said, in order for her to beat Steffi, she's probably going to be aggressive.
But, you know, she's had an awfully good tournament. I mean, those results just floating right through. Good match in the quarterfinals, and then she had a walkover against Monica Seles, the new young star on the horizon who had twisted her ankle. But Zina is playing very well. I think she's got some confidence. She played that match that we covered last weekend, the Euro America's Cup, which gave her a little bit of an opportunity to have a little look at Steffi. And as they said, they're just so happy to get to play Steffi because they very scarcely do. And when it happens, it's so quick that they don't get a good look at her. So she's going to, this is Steffi that she is going to be seeing on the other side of the net. And that age, I mean, is how many years younger than Zina? 5.5 years. Right. And already that wonderful series of titles and a tremendous amount of money she's racked up already. She has not given the other players a chance this week. Carling Bassett was totally in awe when she came off the court. Helen Kulesi also. And then she was a little disgruntled with herself yesterday because she lost a few games to Zvereva. She was a set and 3 love up, and actually I thought she did let up. I thought she played a couple of bad shots.
Remember the last time Zvereva and her played against each other was the final of the French Championship. Zvereva did not, she didn't win a game, and I don't think she's ever been as embarrassed as that. And then last night, apparently, she just went out and you saw the match and said, hey, I've got to do something different. And she attacked, which she doesn't usually do, and it really worked. I mean, she got a few games.
Well, Zvereva has got a tremendous hand. She's a good player, and she can absorb some of the paces. You see Fran McDowell in the chair there. You have to be able, against Steffi, to change your playing rhythm a little bit to accommodate hers, which is so fast. And you also have to be able to somehow absorb some of that tremendous pace that she gives you. Now, Zina plays with a softish racket. The tension of her strings is relatively low, and she is good at that. She has these good soft hands. Now, the only thing is that if she's a little late on the ball, and this is what we saw last week, she had tremendous trouble returning serve. So she's got to improve on that.
They're the head-to-heads, 3-1, as you can see. The last time they played was at the Olympics. Steffi won that in the semis pretty easily, as you can tell. Virginia, when you look at this match, you've got Zina Garrison. Put yourself in her shoes for a moment. She's in the final here, which is terrific for her. Wasn't seeded to be there. Pam Shriver had to pull out. She gets to the final here. She's playing against the #1 player in the world. Nobody expects her to win. So from a standpoint of points and money. I mean, she's already won $27,000. The pressure is off her. I'm not saying she's going to win, but this is a great opportunity for her to do well, I think.
Well, I think it's just an excellent opportunity. She won 2 tournaments last year, but she was in the final of another 2, but, you know, she isn't quite that experienced at playing finals. Finals are always a very different matter from a round during the tournament. I think that's because when you're playing the first round, you're always getting psyched up to play the second round.
Didn't you often found the first round tough because you're just getting used to the conditions you play against? Even if you knew you were going to win, there was a little extra pressure once you get through that. And I'm taking that all the way through the finals. That's why I'm saying now the pressure is off Zina. If she has a chance to do well against Steffi Graf, I think this is it.
I think she has a very good chance. I thought that Steffi was just a little bit irritated yesterday and a little bit irritated in practice today. But I feel that that irritation is because she expects herself to be perfect. And that is one of the reasons why she continues to get better and better.
When they talk to her and they say to her, you know, you seem to be so cool, calm, and collected, you don't get too upset about stuff. She says, check me out in the morning when I'm practicing. I tend to get a kind of upset with myself under those conditions. She was out here, by the way, at 9:30 and had just finished her practice. She will serve first in this best-of-3 championship match of the Virginia Slims of Washington, Steffi Graf playing Zina Garrison. First point.
15 love.
And I'm hoping so much for Zina that she manages to handle some of these big serves early in the match.
Zina announced her engagement early this week to Willard Jackson. They gave her a little party here on Valentine's Day. That was Tuesday night. A lot of the players attended.
40 love.
Willard works for Impact, which is a waste removal company. And he's here.
He's a very nice young man.
Game point.
Game Graf, first game.
Love game. Steffi Graf wins the first game of the match, 1 game to love. Virginia Slims of Washington live. We'll be back. The championship final, of course, in about an hour's time, there will be a final starting of the first Carambola Tennis Invitational on the American Paradise of St. Croix. 2 teaching professionals playing against each other. I watched some of that yesterday, Virginia, and I won't belabor the point, but boy, it is a nice, if you're a great tennis fan, to go out there and watch teaching professionals play against each other. No crowd, but you see some very competitive tennis.
They get competitive and very nervous, don't they?
And good stuff, too. So, call your pro, your local pro, and say, when are you guys going to play another tournament sometime? And go out and watch him and support him. It's a lot of fun.
Well, it's too tough, isn't it? You can see exactly what Zina is setting out to do. She's setting out to attack more.
Love 30.
I know that when I spoke to her before, she's trying to get more first serves in, but she doesn't get very far because, I mean, what can you do with a passing shot like that? She had to hit up on that volley, and that was what set Steffi up.
Love 40.
3 break points for Steffi Graf, second game. Zina has not won a point yet.
But I can see that Zina does have this plan today. Trying to roll the first serves in deep to the backhand side. You can look for Steffi's weakness, but her weakness is so good that it's...
Graf leads 2 love.
She produces winners of her weaker side.
And you just saw one. Her weaker side, presumably, is her backhand side. Got 2 sides, forehand side or backhand side and the suicide. 2 games to love. First set.
And that's her second ace.
And then how about that, Virginia? That's one part of her game that's improving on a daily
Love.
basis, it looks like.
She has a very nice rhythm on this serve. When you start, I would imagine, to
30
panic when you haven't won a point yet. That's 10 points on the trot. Begin to wonder what you have to do to win points against Steffi.
Our remarks about the pressure not being on Zina, notwithstanding, Steffi Graf also feels no pressure.
40 love.
When you play against her, you have the pressure of having to make things happen by yourself. If you don't, she's just going to beat on you like a drum. Game point for Graf.
She's cracking those first serves, and they're not missing by much.
Oh, look at that.
Game
High
Graf.
backhand volley. A lot of people think that's the toughest shot in tennis. Steffi Graf on that point made it look easy. 3 games to love. To Steffi Graf, the #1
Graf
player in the
leads
world.
3-love.
Take a look at this again. In the air, high backhand volley for a clean winner. Virginia Slims of Washington. Will be serving. Graf leads 3-love first set.
Love his team.
Zina hasn't won a point in the match yet. And I wonder if she's aware of it.
I think she's probably only too aware of
Yeah.
it. It begins to hang heavy on you when you can't win points. Yeah.
Still hasn't won love 30 in the match that she played against Helen Khaleesi rather, of Canada. When Khaleesi went out there, she said, well, I just want to win more than some of the other gals that have been, watch this forehand, cross-court for the team winner. And she won a game and, believe it or not, was sort of semi-satisfied because at least it wasn't love and love.
Love 40.
You know, she has this tremendous intensity, Steffi, when she's on the court. It's not, I think, as if she's thinking I'm going to hit my backhand this way or my forehand this way. It's just that she gets glued into that ball. I mean, she just wants that. She has so much unity with the ball, more than any player I think I've seen.
Game Graf.
16 straight points.
4 games to love, that translates into, for Steffi Graf, first set. She wins kind of like Lendl, doesn't she? She stays at the back of the court, hits fierce, heavy ground strokes, and doesn't have that great a volley, but doesn't need to because she's never called upon to, or almost never called upon to get to the net. We may have to check how many points is some kind of a record, not having lost a point in a match yet.
Well, in a final, in a match of this caliber. Look at that, ace #3. You know, just making a comparison with Lendl, I would say that so many people have said Steffi Graf doesn't have a topspin backhand, but, you know, she has a topspin backhand, but she doesn't use it all the time, and I think that low slice backhand really works very well for her.
40 love.
Another love game on the horizon for Steffi Graf. This would be her 5th, and I don't know if we have any way to check it, but it may already have set a record.
Game Graf.
5 games to love,
love.
Steffi Graf. This is the best of 3, but it may not last too long if things keep going this way. We'll be back with more live from Washington. 10,000-seat facility. The Patriot Center on the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. Beautiful area here, by the way. Not far from Washington, downtown Washington, D.C. The applause is for the first point that Zina Garrison has won.
I thought we might get a big smile from Zina on that.
15 love.
Zina's great. She has this serious face, and then her whole face will light up with a smile, but I suppose it's not really a laughing matter, is it? Good girl.
30 love.
Love.
It took 5 games for Zina Garrison to win a point. She made those last 2 look very good.
You know, I think it just takes you so long to realize how fast Steffi's balls are. I think you are totally stunned at the beginning of the match. You almost have to warm up literally before, the moment before you go on court.
Second series.
Mm.
40-16.
If there'd been a dime in that corner, she would have got it. Just absolutely magnificent shot. This just fully extended, and the ball 2 inches from either corner, either line.
Zina Garrison wins her first game of the match, 5-1 in the first set. Best of 3 final championship match. Virginia Slims of Washington. I'm Cliff Drysdale with Virginia Wade. Steffi Graf serving for the first set.
You see, you have to take the chances, but it's awfully difficult to make them good, those. Coming in when you get the opportunity is not the easiest play against Steffi.
Steffi signed autographs on Friday for 20 or 30 minutes after her match to support Literary Volunteers of America, which is the Virginia Slims national charity. Talk about that topspin. She uses it now, Virginia, doesn't she? But as you said, and I think it's a very good point, she's got that slice backhand that she likes, but if you come in against her, she can hit that thing, come over it for the pass.
And having the slice, it changes the shot that the opponent's going to get from the forehand. She never slices off the forehand.
This is set point.
Zina just tried to slow her down a little bit. She really has to make her slow down, because when she gets on a roll like this, she gets faster and faster.
Steffi Graf has won the first set without losing a point on her serve. She won the set 6-1. We'll be back. Of California next weekend, next Sunday, 2:30 Eastern Time, you'll see the championship match. That'll be from Oakland, California. Martina Navratilova is entered there. Join us also for the U.S. Pro Indoors on ESPN from Philadelphia. Saturday and Sunday next weekend. Garrison serving first game, second set.
15 love.
An error, I do believe. That is Steffi's first error of the match. It wasn't as if she was just trying to keep the ball in court
That's
either.
just what I was thinking. She was going for another clean winner.
Oh, I just love that forehand when she gets around it. And you really cannot tell which way she's going to hit it. I suppose she prefers to hit it inside out, but it's, you know, it's like cracking a whip at the ball. And you, as the opponent, it's so long before you can read which side it's going, so you have no chance, let alone the sheer pace.
Also, she hit that from the center of the court, had to find her own angle, and did. That's why.
15-30. Thank you.
First game, second set.
Throw the ball in, please. Thank you.
Steffi Graf lost 4 points in the first set, all in the same game. She only lost points in one game, that was on Zina's serve game at 5 games to love. Up to that point, she had not lost a point, which I still feel, we haven't checked it, is a record in championship play. I'm not sure that we will get access to that information immediately. $15.30.
30 all.
And perhaps Steffi hesitated. I think she had a choice which way to go, and she just took a little time to make up her mind, and that's where the error came from. She usually is so decisive, very instinctive for tennis.
30 all. She'll get this. Oh! Zina's racket was out of her hand. All Steffi Graf had to do was put the ball in court anywhere, and obviously she didn't know it.
She obviously got distracted. She was obviously, let's see if
40,
from the
30.
close-up whether we can, there the racket goes, and we can't see whether Steffi was watching her, but I'm sure that that was why she took her eye off the ball.
Present for Zina Garrison, the only one she'll get in this match, surely. Game point, Garrison. First game, second set.
Well played, Garrison.
So Zina, for the first time in this match, is out in front. 1 game to love, but she lost the first 6-1. Here's Steffi Graf on this point there where Zina Garrison lost her racket. Take a look at this here. Here is where Zina loses it. Now Steffi comes into the net. She has nothing. All she has to do is make the shot. As you can see, that it is quite wide open for her, but she missed it.
15 love.
6-1 in the first set for Steffi Graf, not 6-2 as we showed you going out. 1 love for Garrison in the second set.
And 15 love.
First serve.
Interesting that Virginia, when she came into the net, Zina's racket was out of her hand. She obviously didn't see it because all she had to do is then put the ball in play. It's interesting that you know where your opponent is, but sometimes you're not looking at everything that's going on over there. Otherwise, she would have done it differently.
Well, at least Zina's beginning to connect with the serve and get it into play, but not very effectively. And that ball did sit up. The serve is coming down with a tremendous thud. Oh, that's very good, Zina.
Very old.
Zina, of course, had an awfully good year last year, and as you just watched this tremendously athletic move, way overhead that wasn't to get that sort of angle.
Double fault. An opportunity, the first time in the match. As a matter of fact, this is the first game in which Steffi Graf has lost a point on her serve. Garrison has won 3 of them. She has a break point.
But you don't have too much play on that. You caught the edge of the line.
Throw the ball down.
And even Steffi took another look at that because it wasn't right in the middle of the line. It just nudged the edge of the line. But it was in. The shot that Zina chose to go in on, and her approach shot wasn't deep enough.
Draw.
Game point. Ball boy behind Steffi. He's having difficulty collecting the thing. Well, down a break point. Steffi comes back and holds on to serve. It's 1 game all now. I think that you will find that Steffi Graf's serve is going to get even better than it is. She's going to be able to hit it even harder than she does as you watch the replay of that lost point again. And you get a chance to see how well she moves.
She stays so well balanced on the ball. Even when she really cracks them, when she really lets fly on the ball, she never comes out of her balanced position. Tremendous flexibility in the body and strength. Excellent serve from Zina, and yet the return was only out by about 6 inches.
I was going to say about Steffi's serve that I think she can get it, she'll even get more power when she brings the ball toss down just a little bit, because she'll have to swing quicker at it. That'll give her more power, like Lendl did over the years.
Toss is really probably 2 feet too high.
Things you're saying about Steffi in terms of her body and her movement, you could say the same thing about Zina Garrison, because that is the strongest part of her game, isn't it? Her ability to move and get about the court and her strength.
Zina definitely is one of the fastest players around, stays down so well, hits the ball out in front, but she does have a couple of technical weaknesses, which she has steadily worked on and improved. In order to be a champion, you don't have a chance to have any weaknesses. What a great serve.
Game point.
This is one of her best mental matches, to be whitewashed like that without winning a point and still stay in there with concentration and determination is an extremely good effort.
Her coach is Willis Thomas, who's a local. He's 26 years old. He used to teach at the Skyline Club, which is in Falls Church, Virginia, not far from here.
I said to him, what's Zina going to do different today? Well, he said, well, I gave her a 45 to take on court with her, so that if things got really bad, she could use the weapon and knock Steffi out. I thought that was such a funny line. Great attitude to have.
Still game point. third game of the match. He lost the first set 6-1, but is ahead here 2-1 in the second. More live from Washington in a moment. He will be there. Or was it Mexican? I think it was Mexican. I remember when he said he was eating Mexican food in class. I said, that's great. What's he going to eat in California? 2-1. For Zina Garrison, she's ahead on serve, second set. Lost the first.
One of the best returns that Zina's hit. An awfully ambitious shot, the topspin lob on the run, but it didn't miss by much. Zina played that wonderful match against Martina at the US Open last year when she beat her. It was way up in the second set and couldn't put it away, and we all thought that she wasn't going to make it, and then she came back and won the third. She also won the doubles in the Olympics with Pam Shriver.
Kind of gloss over that, and it should be emphasized. At the US Open this year, Zina Garrison, she has a set and 5-1, loses the set from 5-1, and comes back to win the match. Most remarkable turnaround I've ever seen. 40-30. 1-2 second set.
But she did have her best year last year, Zina, and she's started really to gain more confidence. And as we all know, tennis is all about confidence. Her ranking is only number 9 at the moment. It has been higher. But I think we're going to see it actually creep up higher this year.
Zina beat Susan Sloan in the first round, and then Mary Lou Daniels. Used to be Mary Lou Piatek before she was married.
Oh, that's great stuff, Zina.
I bet she feels a lot better than she did after 5 games and hadn't won a point.
And here she really takes that way out in front of her and comes in behind it. And you know, I just don't know how she can start doing that earlier in the match. It just seems so late to watch.
Oops.
She's not ready. It just seems that, you know, you cannot afford to lose 5 games without winning a point against Steffi. You're playing at such a disadvantage. If you could somehow be geared up a little faster when you get onto the court.
Make an impression on her a little earlier, make the whole thing a little closer. You give her that kind of a start. Trouble. Deuce. Just
that. But, you know, by the same token, you watch Steffi when she goes out to practice. You said she practiced at 9 o'clock this morning. She practiced again just before the match. The first ball that she goes out and hits, she's bouncing around, attacking the ball. She goes out like most people come off the court.
Well, it has been a lot tougher for Steffi Graf to hold on to her serve in this set. She's won them both, deuced in that game, as you saw, and was a serve break point down in the first serve game that she served. But we're on serve in the second. She did not lose a point on her serve in the first set.
We may lack the competition level a lot when Steffi's on court, but you certainly look at tennis being played at near perfect.
In the quarterfinal, Garrison beat Gigi Fernandez, who lives in Miami now. She's from Puerto Rico. Fine effort from Gigi. She won her second match against Van Rensburg 6-2, 6-love, and beat Natalie Toziat in the first round. Pam Shriver withdrew in this tournament.
Good serve.
And we saw her last week playing in the final, on the final day rather, of the Euro Americas Cup, and she was just exhausted. And said, I've had enough for a while. She's in the doubles final.
Very good volley. Pam and Betsy Nagelson play against the Russian duo Savchenko and Zvereva.
30-15.
Played an amazing doubles match yesterday against Gigi Fernandez and Robin White. They were 7-5 one down and won at 7-5 in the third. Doubles has been very scintillating.
Game point for Zina Garrison. When Pam withdrew, by the way, there is a difference in the way that the women and the men's tour handle it. She can withdraw even after the draw is made. In the men's field, if you do that, you get a one-pointer on the computer, which means it's like you lost in the first round. In the women's, if you don't play, they don't count it against you.
Also, the men don't allow you to play doubles if you withdraw from the singles. And
that's the other difference.
There is often some question about that, whether you are fit enough to play doubles and not singles.
Double fault for Zina. But she still has game point.
It's only a first double fault.
Just wide. Steffi Graf, not sure that she likes the course. She doesn't like it. Not much she can do about it. Zina Garrison has won her fourth game of the match. 3-2. She leads in the second set. She lost the first easily 6-1. Virginia Slims of Washington. We'll be back. Today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Peter Graf on the right and Coach Pavel Slozwell. Watching Peter Graf came up here. He's been spending some time in Florida, looking very tan. Came up on Thursday.
And Steffi, there's Pam Shriver watching. Steffi is associated with the Glen Eagles resort down there, so begins to spend a bit more time. She says she has so far liked being in America because she's not quite as well known, so it gives her a little bit of freedom. Wonderful serve. She is becoming so visible in the rest of the world that she really can't do anything in private, especially, of course, in Europe. But she said in Australia it was exactly the same this year.
Get her face on television. Only two people not encumbered by any masks or anything, and that's what happens. International superstars is what these tennis players become, and of course it helps the sport.
I think that the public is really beginning just now to appreciate Steffi and how great she is. And now, when she came on to practice, and there were a lot of people here, they gave her a huge hand just as she walked on the court in her shorts to practice in a warm-up suit.
Game point for Graf. The best story in that respect was when Yannick Noah won the French championships and said, I had enough. Too famous. Moved to New York, where he says, nobody is famous. You can walk around there, and even if they recognize you, they let you around. Game point. Steffi Graf holds on to serve. 3 games all. No serve breaks in the second set. Plenty in the first set. Graf won it 6-1.
Terrific serve. Now that's the serve that I think might be about the best serve to employ against Steffi, that it's serve that slices right into her on the backhand, doesn't give her a chance to get round and hit it on the forehand, and she gets a little jammed on it. But that was one of Zina's best.
Oh.
And that's an ace.
You've got to hand it to her. She's really come through in this second set, played well. You know, she won only 4 points in the first set, and you know that she's got to be thinking to herself, gee, this could be over in moments, and then, well, there's the serve that you were talking about, right into the left hip, which is a tough serve to return at the best of times by anybody on the backhand side. But she has turned things
Tried
around.
it again there, too. Yeah. And on a court that bounces as low as this, you better to put a little bit of side spin on to keep the ball to maximize that low bounce.
30-15.
Second double fault. I have a feeling that Zina is getting a little bit more confident on her serve as this match goes on, but likewise you start trying maybe slightly too much. You can make a few more errors. And I have to say that I thought that was a slightly sloppy shot from Steffi, and that's only being ultra picky because she had taken the right spot. She just took her eye off the ball.
Zina Garrison has turned this second set into a very competitive affair. She has not lost her serve, leads 4-3. She lost the first set 6-1. Won easily against Zina Garrison. Final match, Virginia Slims, Washington.
Perhaps second double fault. Practically full house here today.
Just short, that is, of 10,000 spectators, which is capacity here. At the Patriot Center, George Mason University. Kenny Rogers has been here. Guy, first singer was, or group was the Beach Boys.
Zina did exactly right. Took the ball on the rise, deep up the middle, but she didn't even get a look at this. It wasn't as deep as it should have been. I was wrong there, but it stayed low.
Love is long.
30-15.
And there that big forehand again. You know, I always remember a couple of years ago when Steffi was just emerging, and so we just watched her. She hit so many of these absolutely freewheeling forehands, just launches herself into the court.
Graf beat Stacey Martin in the first round, who's, well, kind of a local. She's a freshman at the University of Tennessee now, but she's from the Washington metropolitan area, and then she beat Garling Bassett Seguso without losing a game. And then Helen Talesi, also of Canada, and then Zvereva of the Soviet Union in the semis. Zvereva got 7 games from her, 6-3, 6-4, and was satisfied. Zina has really turned this around. She's played a good second set.
And we just have a look. We go clockwise round this, so You have a look at the first position of when she serves, gets up for it, launches herself into it, and then recovers position. Zina has experimented over the years with different service positions.
Court was going for that territory, but just didn't make the shot.
And to keep that ball in from so far, Zina, seeing the opening, just rushed the shot. She probably didn't expect as good a shot back from Steffi there. Steffi returned it with interest. It was a very hard shot to get to.
Part of her serve, what I think is interesting is that a little bit of Edberg in it, in as much as the left side is up, and she drags the right side down just there, right there, just a little longer than most.
She seems to try to throw in that underspin forehand in her efforts to keep the ball low. But it is a bit of a risky shot. It's so easy to open the racket face up a little bit too much and the ball floats.
It's a good play on the approach shots, but it's not a good play when you're at the back. 15-30. She got it. But Graf gets it away. 2 break points now. She's trying everything, isn't she?
Yeah, great point from Zina. But Steffi comes up with just one shot too many. It was quite a difficult volley there. Doesn't expect it to come back. And, well, we'll throw in an overhead just for good measure, as we've hit every other shot in the book today.
Big point, double break point.
4-all yesterday, against Vareva. Vareva led 40-15 at this stage, and Steffi managed to win the game. Yes.
That passing shot will give Steffi Graf a chance to serve for the match and her first Virginia Slims title of the year. We'll be back with that live in a moment. Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and then on Sunday, you will see the finals at midnight, Sunday evening. And the Virginia Slims of California next Sunday here, 2:30 Eastern Time. That's from Oakland. Agassi and Chang to Mayotte. Agassi and Chang, of course, both U.S. Davis Cup players now, will be at the Pro Indoors. Mayotte won it last year.
Yep.
Becca will be there too.
Steffi Graf won't be at Oakland next week. She's played last week and this week, and we'll have a couple of weeks off before resuming on the outdoor courts. I believe she comes back for Virginia Slims of Florida and Boca. Martina will be playing next week.
Virginia Slims of Florida, one of the 3 tournaments in which she lost a match last year. That was to Sabatini. We watched that together.
A slightly slower court and a very good Sabatini, and for once Steffi's forehand wasn't great.
Serving for the match. deposit $60,000. They have made $27,000 so far. That's just for singles, of course. Doubles winners make 18. Runners up 9. 13. 15-30.
Coming off Steffi's racket, she was talking to herself in German just now. She really is pretty strict on herself. She expects herself to be perfect. And it's funny, I have seen at the end of some of her matches a little bit of a lapse. In the Australian Open against Helena Sukova, she suddenly had a string of games where she wasn't so good.
So a break back for Zina Garrison. After Steffi Graf's match against Bassett Seguso, Colin Bassett Seguso, she said that it was one of the 5 matches that she was really happy with in her career. And she said it was a perfect match that she played. Didn't lose a game. And Zina draws even at 5 games all in the second set. That's Peter Graf. He doesn't look too worried. That's Peter on the right and Pebble Slosel, her coach, on the left. I said to Slosel just before this thing, I said, don't you feel like sometimes you'd like to get up? Because he's still a heck of a fine player. He said, no, I have no interest in it. He said, I'm still trying to beat Steffi.
It is incredible when they practice because she really pushes him around.
One of the fine doubles players, all time, really.
Oh, that's well done. And determination on Zina's face, and that is just brilliant play. She covers so much court. I mean, look how many steps she makes to go there. Read it right, and the most positive thing is that she is still really determined to do well in this match.
15 all. Might be being a little too kind to Pebble Slosel, calling him an all-timer, but he was a darn fine doubles player with Thomas Smid of Czechoslovakia.
Oh, he was a good player. Again, the backhand in the net. Again, I felt that it was almost as if she decided a little late which way she was going to hit that, as if she hesitated and was fractionally late. Tried to do too much.
Peter Graf's story I like best is that every Grand Slam he bets against his daughter for superstitious reasons, because he's always done it, so he bets against every time. If you can be the one who gets the bet, you've got to assure him.
I don't believe he does that.
That's unbelievable. 30 all.
Oh, what a magnificent shot, and even Zina gave her a hand. So clean, fluid.
Hit that one with very little spin too. Watch this now. See, there's no top spin, no slice. Flat as a pancake. Break point.
Well, and I think that both players hesitated on that call on the service line.
They did, but nevertheless, the break is given to Steffi Graf, so when we come back, she'll be serving for the match for the second time. Winner gets 60 of that, 27 to the runner-up, so Steffi Graf serving for the second time to enter another little check into what is a very fat bank account already.
lob from Zina.
Love 15.
Took a swing that wasn't there. Zina's in the final because in the semi-final she was given a walkover over Monica Seles of Yugoslavia. Only turned 15 in December. She had a, they call a grade 1 sprain in her right foot. She did that in a match against Maliva. She was down 3-1 in the first set and it happened. She finished that match and won it. Then had to pull out. Look at this.
Well, once in a while you think Steffi isn't at home on the net, but she certainly is making herself more comfortable here. Watch the feet, the bounce, that's very much Steffi Graf.
30-15.
The touch combined with the power is what makes her so good.
It's interesting she's prowling around that net though, but she's a long way from it. And that is one of the sure signs of somebody who really rather be somewhere else. 2 points from the match. Now just one.
40-15.
Remember that name, Monica Seles, by the way. You're going to see a lot more of her. She lives down in Florida now, Bradenton, Florida, Nick Volateri's place, and her parents are over here living in Florida as well.
Quietly.
Steffi wanting to finish it off with an ace. Nearly killed a few spectators there. It really is quite scary sitting in the front row around this court. And Steffi's the other end.
Nice that, isn't it? You make a mistake and somebody else picks up the ball. You get another one. Match point. That'll be enough. Probably a record-setting match in as much as Steffi Graf did not lose 1 point the first 5 games of this match. Then Garrison held on. Graf won her next serve game to low. She didn't lose a point on her serve in the whole of the first set. Then things turned around in the second set. Garrison had so many more chances against Graf's serve. Finally, Graf prevailed 7-5. 2 straight sets for Graf, 6-1, 7-5. She is the Virginia Slims of Washington champion. That was match point replayed. Steffi Graf, as she's done so darn many times, again match point, runs up to the net to accept the accolades of the fans here. It's an outstanding crowd at the George Mason University Patriot Center. Graf, the winner, 6-1, 7-5, the champion of the Virginia Slims of Washington. We'll come back, look at some more tennis, and watch the presentation.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Steffi for playing a very good tournament this week and a very good match against me, and hope to see you a lot more and somewhere down the line. I'd like to thank ProServe staff for helping us out all during the week, and the tournament director, Josh Ripple, and also the tournament manager, Jeannie Ford. I'd like to thank Virginia Slims for putting on such a great event, and also Omicron American Watches for sponsoring this. I'd like to thank the fans, too, and the ball boys and the umpires, and especially my coach. I'm getting a little better, Willis. Just hang with me. Thanks.
And now I'd like to recognize the winner. This player has had an unbelievable career over the last 3 or 4 years. Last year, she won the Grand Slam and the gold medal. She's collected over $3.5 million in prize money. And now I'd like to call Steffi Graf up. Steffi, on behalf of Virginia Slims, I'd like to present you with a check for $60,000.
Thank you. Well, I have to say, congratulations to Zina for playing such a good match and come to the finals. And I'm not going to repeat all the sponsors. I just want to basically thank Virginia Slims and for the tournament organization. They put up a great tournament. I've been here the first time ever, and I really enjoyed it very much. I just hope next time they put the tournament a little bit closer to the city, so at least I got to see some. At least I got a chance yesterday, and I'm really sorry I have to leave again today. But I hope I come back and I have some more time, so I'll see. Just again, thank you to the umpires, ball kids, and to the tournament officials, and I just really hope to come back again. Bye-bye. Thank you.
We'll be back with more tennis. You'll see some of Steffi Graf and Gabriela Sabat